Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 7, Book 72, number 702. Narrated by Abu Hurairah, I heard Allah's Apostle saying, from among my followers, a group, 70,000, will enter paradise without being asked for their accounts, their faces will be shining like the moon. Ukasha bin Musan al-Asadi got up, lifting his covering sheet and said, O Allah's Apostle, invoke Allah for me that he may include me with them. The Prophet said, O Allah, make him from them. Then another man from Al-Ansar got up and said, O Allah's Apostle, invoke Allah for me that he may include me with them. On that Allah's Apostle said, Ukasha has anticipated you. Volume 7, Book 72, number 703. Narrated by Qatada, I asked Anas, what kind of clothes was most beloved to the Prophet? He replied, the hibra, a kind of Yemenese cloth. Volume 7, Book 72, number 704. Narrated by Anas bin Malik, the most beloved garment to the Prophet to wear was the hibra, a kind of Yemenese cloth. Volume 7, Book 72, number 705. Narrated by Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, when Allah's Apostle died, he was covered with a hibra bird, green square decorated garment. Volume 7, Book 72, number 706. Narrated by Aisha and Abdullah bin Abbas, when the disease of Allah's Apostle got aggravated, he covered his face with a kamisa, but when he became short of breath, he would remove it from his face and say, it is like that. May Allah curse the Jews Christians because they took the graves of their prophets as places of worship. By that he warned his follower of imitating him, by doing that which they did. Volume 7, Book 72, number 707. Narrated by Abu Burda, Aisha brought out to us a kissa and an izza and said, the Prophet died while wearing these two. Kissa, a square black piece of woolen cloth. Izza, a sheet cloth garment covering the lower half of the body. Volume 7, Book 72, number 708. Narrated by Aisha, Allah's Apostle offered prayer while he was wearing a kamisa of his that had printed marks. He looked at its marks, and when he finished prayer, he said, take this kamisa of mine to Abu Jam, for it has just now diverted my attention from my prayer, and bring to me the ambajaniya, a plain thick sheet, of Abu Jam bin Hudhaifa bin Ghanem, who belonged to Bani Adi bin Kabi. Volume 7, Book 72, number 709. Narrated by Abu Hurairah, the Prophet had forbidden a. The mulamasa and munabada, bargains, b. The offering of two prayers, one after the morning compulsory prayer till the sun rises, and the others after the Asr prayer till the sun sets. C. He also forbade that one should sit wearing one garment, nothing of which covers his private parts. D. And prevent them from exposure to the sky. E. He also forbade ishtimal as sama. Volume 7, Book 72, number 710. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Allah's Apostle forbade two ways of wearing clothes and two kinds of dealings. A. He forbade the dealings of the mulamasa and the munabada. In the mulamasa transaction, the buyer just touches the garment he wants to buy at night or by daytime, and that touch would oblige him to buy it. In the munabada, one man throws his garment at another and the latter throws his at the former, and the barter is complete and valid without examining the two objects or being satisfied with them. B. The two ways of wearing clothes were ishtimal as sama, i.e., to cover one's shoulder with one's garment and leave the other bare, and the other way was to wrap oneself with a garment while one was sitting in such a way that nothing of that garment would cover one's private part. Volume 7, Book 72, Number 711. Narrated by Abu Huraira. Allah's Apostle forbade two types of dresses: a. to sit in an atiba posture in one garment nothing of which covers his private parts. b. to cover one side of his body with one garment and leave the other side bare. The Prophet also forbade the mulamasa and munabada. Volume 7, Book 72, Number 712. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The Prophet forbade ishtimal as sama, and that a man should sit in an atiba posture in one garment, nothing of which covers his private parts. Volume 7, Book 72, Number 713. Narrated by Khalid bint Khalid. The Prophet was given some clothes including a black kamisa. The Prophet said, "To whom shall we give this to wear?" The people kept silent, whereupon the Prophet said, "Fetch Khalid for me." I, Khalid, was brought carried, as I was small girl at that time. The Prophet took the kamisa in his hands and made me wear it and said, "May you live so long that your dress will wear out and you will mend it many times." On the kamisa there were some green or pale designs. The Prophet saw these designs, and said, Khalid, "This is Sana." Sana in Ethiopian word meaning beautiful. Volume 7, Book 72, Number 714. Narrated by Anas. When Sulaim gave birth to a child, she said to me, "O Anas, watch this boy carefully and do not give him anything to eat or drink until you have taken him to the Prophet tomorrow morning for the tarnik." So the next morning I took the child to the Prophet, who was sitting in a garden and was wearing a Huraithia kamisa and was branding the she-camel on which he had come during the conquest of Mecca. Volume 7, Book 72, Number 715. Narrated by Ikrimah. Rifa divorced his wife, whereupon Abdurrahman bin Az Zubair al-Kharazi married her. Aisha said that the lady came, wearing a green veil, and complained to her, Aisha, of her husband and showed her a green spot on her skin caused by beating. It was the habit of ladies to support each other. So when Allah's Apostle came, Aisha said, "I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women. Look, her skin is greener than her clothes." When Abdurrahman heard that his wife had gone to the Prophet, he came with his two sons from another wife. She said, "By Allah, I have done no wrong to him, but he is impotent and is as useless to me as this." Holding and showing the fringe of her garment, Abdurrahman said, "By Allah, O Allah's Apostle, she has told a lie. I am very strong and can satisfy her, but she is disobedient and wants to go back to Rifa." Allah's Apostle said to her, "If that is your intention, then know that it is unlawful for you to remarry Rifa unless Abdurrahman has had sexual intercourse with you." Then the Prophet saw two boys with Abdurrahman and asked him, "Are these your sons?" On that, Abdurrahman said, "Yes." The Prophet said, "You claim what you claim, i.e. that he is impotent. But by Allah, these boys resemble him as a crow resembles a crow." Volume 7, Book 72, Number 716. Narrated by Sa'd. On the day of the Battle of Uhud, on the right and on the left of the Prophet were two men wearing white clothes, and I had neither seen him before, nor did I see them afterwards.
أشهد أن